The next pose in Sun Salutation A that we're going to look at is Uttanasana, forward fold. Forward folds can be quite challenging for many people, and if we don't fold in a way that is optimal for our bodies, we will end up likely with pain in our lower back or our hips or our glutes or our hamstrings. So it's really important to pay attention not to how the fold looks, but to how the fold feels. Within Sun Salutation A, we enter forward fold from Urdhva Hastasana. So, begin with arms overhead. Then exhale and bend your knees. This is really important. A lot of people don't bend their knees as much as they should in their forward fold. So bend your knees and find your way down to your forward fold. The three main components you want to pay attention to in your fold are your hips, your tailbone pointing back and up, your belly either coming towards your thighs or actually resting on your thighs, and your chest staying broad. If you're doing those three things, you are doing Uttanasana forward fold. Your knees do not have to be straight. Your hands do not have to be flat on the ground. Often we spend so much time focused on knees straight, hands flat, that we end up folding differently. Instead of folding like this from the hips, we instead end up folding a little more like this. You'll notice my legs are straight, my fingers, they're touching the mat, but you'll also notice that I have rounding through my low back and through my upper back. So rather than flexion at the hips in this fold, I have spinal flexion. And spinal flexion definitely has a time and a place for use. However, if we fold like this over and over and over again in our vinyasa classes, we will likely end up with pain. Again, like I said, in our low back, in our hips, in our glutes, or in our hamstrings. So rather than focusing on straight legs, hands down, and doing everything we can to meet those two and ending up with spinal flexion, if you find yourself in this position, put your hands in your hip creases. Take your hips, point them back and up. You may not be able to do this with your legs straight. You may have to bend your knees. From there, watch my hips. They're going from tucked under with my tailbone tucking under to hips and tailbone back and up. Then belly comes down to the thighs and my chest opens and broadens. From here over time, maybe I'm able to straighten my legs more. But either way, I am doing Uttanasana forward fold. The important thing to note when you straighten your legs, if you straighten your legs, is those three components. Feel if they're still in place. Are your hips and tailbone still pointing up and back? Is your belly still on your thighs? Is your chest still broad? One other quick thing to note, a lot of times I hear people talk about engaging the core in your forward fold, and I'm not going to say don't do that. Certainly do that if it works for you. They'll say engage your core to protect your lower back. But what I actually notice for myself at least is that when I engage my lower abdominals, typically what ends up happening is that my tailbone tucks under. As I engage across here, my tailbone just slightly tucks under. And as I do that then and I try and fold, if I try and keep that engagement, my tailbone tucking under, I end up with a fold that looks like this. Even if I bend my knees while I'm engaging my core, my tailbone is tucking under. So if you're able to engage your core while you're pulling your hips back and flexing through your hips, go ahead and do that. I guess I can feel it. I can still engage my core, but it's almost a different kind of engagement. The focus isn't first on engaging the core. The focus is first on pulling the hips and tailbone back and up. I hope that makes sense. Next, we will look at Chaturanga Dandasana.